We're here at Augmented World Expo. We're at the Loox booth, and I don't need this anymore because I've got this. Yoel,
Yes.
what is that bag I was just holding?
Yeah, so what this is really the world's first augmented reality fabric bag. Allows you to point and click on a person. So you know how you interact with computers today. You see something on the screen and you click it and you get information. How about with people? Could I point and click on a person and just point my phone at them and get information that they want to share? And that's what the bag allows you to do.
Now that kind of sounds creepy. Why don't we talk about the privacy for a second, then we'll talk about some of the applications.
Talk about privacy. So if you think about it, the world is going towards augmented reality and mixed reality. You want to get information from people around you. They want to share information with you. How do you do that in a way that respects privacy? Two ways. Number one is do it based on your face, which is, that's a biometric and people don't want to really commercialize it. The other way to do it is through your fabric. The fabric already is communicating part of what you are and who you are. But they're not unique. You are unique, but the fabrics are not. So the question is, could you create a fabric that is as unique as the wearer? And if you do that, well then you could point and click on a person in a way that respects privacy. Why? Because you can leave your fabric back home, but you can't leave your face.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Now, and you've developed an app as well that is being used at this conference.
Yeah, but the bigger story here is not just augmented reality fabric, it's also manufacturing the fabric in this country. And the fabric is actually made in Spartanburg, South Carolina by a mill called Inman Mills, which we partnered with to learn or teach them how to weave codes into fabric. The company I'm the CEO of is a nonprofit funded by the DoD and state of Massachusetts and MIT. Our mission is to change what fabrics are and to elevate what the industry could do.
And what's amazing about this thing is, and you just alluded to it, but each one is unique, right?
Exactly.
Each one has its own code.
Exactly. And the point is, we are unique. What we put on is not. Could you create a fabric that is as unique as the wearer? And if that happens, well, you could express yourself in many more ways. And that's really what this whole thing is about. And we've made here 6,000 of these unique bags. And people are connecting to each other and really showing what the future may hold.
Well, speaking of the future, one of the things we talked about was the human-machine interface, on the road. Why don't we talk about autonomous vehicles and the pedestrian?
Yeah. So when you think about fabrics and you think about communications in fabrics and kind of why we would want that to happen, I think one great example is self-driving vehicles. Entire world is thinking and investing in that, and everybody's thinking about the vehicle. But what about the pedestrian? What about the bike rider? That's right, because a self-driving vehicle is approaching us and we're crossing the street. Do we get to participate in a decision that it's going to affect our life? Or is it only up to the computer? So what we're saying is that the computer, the car, is going to have to talk to the pedestrian. How do you do that? You do it through the lights. And so on the one hand is going to be the lights of the car, and on the other hand is going to be a fabric that could take that light and convert it to audio. So the car will be able to talk to the fabric and to the pedestrian.
So you could conceivably code something maybe not personal, but it might be something generic, like if it's a toddler's little bib or something, it could tell the car, hey, this is a toddler.
Yes, it will be able to, and this is the technology that we're developing to make that happen. These are fibers, and in these fibers are computer chips. And so this is really the first time ever that chips made it into fibers. And with that, we're going to enable an entire new world of advanced fabrics for communications, for health monitoring, and for a host of other applications.
So in that scenario, the car would basically signal the person and
Exactly.
it reflect off?
We'll talk to you. And if you think about it, that can't happen through your phone. It really needs to be directly to you. And how does a self-driving car talk to a human? The answer is through lights and through the ability of the fabric to pick up those lights and make sense of them.
So the question is, what kind of cost premium would that kind of fabric be?
Yeah, so the way we're looking at it, and I think this fabric augmented reality tells that story, is you should not be thinking about a fabric as a good. You should be thinking about it as a platform for services. once a fabric delivers a service, it could be thought of and monetized in different ways. We don't pay today for search, we pay for the advertisements we get served. And the same thing is going to happen in fabrics. It's going to become a service-based industry, just like software, just like Uber and all the software companies.
So just like this bag was a giveaway here, there might be marketing opportunities for this.
Exactly. And part of what we're thinking the future holds is when people click on your fabric, they're going to get maybe an advertisement. You'll get paid for that advertisement. So your fabric no longer is something you spend money on, it actually makes money for you. And that's very exciting.
Like Dr. Sudik once said, looking at his students with all the t-shirts, now you'd actually get paid for the advertisements you're wearing, huh?
Absolutely. And if you think about it, fabrics are sitting on the most valuable real estate that we have. It's the surface of our bodies. Now, we got 20 square feet of real estate and the most valuable location. What are we doing with that real estate? And the answer is right now, nothing. So what we're trying to say is that we could add value to that real estate and actually really provide that value to the wearer.
And it sounds like the properties of the weaving and the thread, you can actually do much more, like even store energy potentially?
Yeah, so when we think about fabrics as a service, and you ask what types of services are we going to be able to provide? So health monitoring is a great one. The other one is energy storage. So imagine now a fabric that part of the fibers are actually batteries. They store energy. We are thinking about communications. So all of these applications are right beyond the corner. And so we're really thinking about the function of fabrics in a very technological and advanced way.
Yeah, and you were suggesting a supercapacitance could happen, right?
Exactly. So all of these different capabilities require power. And where is that power going to be stored? Life is great except you need to lug a battery around. So imagine you're carrying around 2 pounds of fabric. Maybe 25% of that is a battery fiber or fabric. And so you have a half a pound of a battery. That actually could last a long time. And so capacitors and batteries in fibers.
Excellent. So I guess your wearable will truly be a wearable you can use.
My friend, we don't like to use wearable. Wearables are the things that you don't wear. What you wear are called clothes.
Clothes.
That's what we're doing.
Excellent. The new wearable, clothes. Well, thank you very much.
Nice meeting you.